Hurrah, he says half-heartedly. Well, when you start doing these things, you get to a day when you have the prevarication monkey on your back a couple of mornings, and then you have a day when you wake up and you think, today I just don't want to do this. I don't want to do a 5-mile walk. I've got a dozen other things that I could be doing. This isn't prevarication, it's basically, you know, is this all worth it type thing. It's only day 6. So today I got up and I'm not feeling as painful or as achy or as in a bad way as I was the previous 5 days. But today, it's the philosophy of, what was his name? Mediocrities. Yeah, very, very famous fictional Greek philosopher. Mediocrities. And his idea was, yeah, I've done enough, that'll do. And that is his most famous saying, yeah, that'll do. Obviously in Greek. But that's not going to happen. I have to do this. I don't have to do this. I am going to do this. I said I was going to do this for the week, and I'm going to do it for the week because the sense of achievement I get at the end more than justifies the fact that today, well, I didn't feel like it. Yeah, okay, well, you didn't feel like it. You just had to get up, get dressed, get ready. I'm leaving a little bit late because I waited to power up all the gear. I didn't charge it last night as well as I should have done. But it's day 6. And we're going to keep going. Today is an anti-clockwise day. So the first part of it is the boring bit up the drive. And then the second part of it is through the back way, past the fields and down a bit. And I'm going to do it because that's what I said to myself I was going to do. And the legs, I'm not, I do not look like a young Arnold Schwarzenegger, so obviously I haven't lost any weight or anything. This is only 6 days in. But I'm still, last night noticed that my legs had swelled a little bit again. A little bit swelled up. And this morning it felt cold. So that's a circulation thing. So the problem hasn't gone. It may be easing off, but no, it hasn't gone. So I said that I would walk every day. And I'm going to walk every day. And anything else in my life that needs to be done is unfortunately going to have to be put on the back burner. For the moment, if I can't work because I'm not able to walk properly and I can't do the other things, then walking and getting myself fit is the priority. Yeah? This is the route. First part of it is about 2 miles, like I said, every single day. Not operating very well with this gimbal. The house in my background there. Fields where people come and walk their dogs, walk their dogs, park in there and then using the grounds. There's a bridge over there. That's the bridge where I come back in. And there we go. So that's it. So today is, well, I feel okay now that I'm actually out on the road. But today was, I don't really want to do this day. But there's the plateau, like when you start these training exercises, when you start any new, it's a bit windy here, not windy. Is it? No, it's just me walking. Like any of these new changes to your life, new habits that we're creating for ourselves. This is a bit late, I know it's a bit late in the day, but it's a new habit we're creating. There is the learning curve, then there is the grind, which is a little bit less, but it's the learning all the bits, the extra little bits that make you good at what you're doing. Steep learning curve, and then you get to the plateau. The plateau is where you have a habit, it's become a habit. And then you can do one or two things. You can continue on that plateau, but slowly improve. Gentle incline. Then when you get to the plateau, you can carry on to the set level. Then you get to a gentle incline, and then after that, without noticing it, you get natural improvement. Yeah, so I'm not at that plateau level. Not at that. You are what you do every day. Period. Where I am a person who walks every day. Yeah, I walk every day. I'm a person who goes for a jog twice a day. I'm a person who does weights every day. If you're not that person who has made that part of your life, then you're going to have days like today until you get to that plateau. And it is just a matter of getting to that plateau, of making the thing part of your life. That's the bit. So that it is just an everyday part of your life, like having a shower, putting clothes on, that sort of thing. Just letting some cars past here. Now I obviously not at that stage after just 6 days. It's that bit. You just plod on, keep going for that period until it becomes part of your daily routine without you even considering that it's a thing. Like I said before, people who go running and jogging every day, it is just part of their life. They get up, they go for a run, they go for a jog, they clean their teeth, they put the trousers on, they get up and they do the rest of their day. It's just part of it, their life. And that's what you're trying to get to, so that this new habit just becomes you. You are that person. Yeah? Everybody else started on day one. Everybody else walked their first mile. Everybody else jogged their first mile. Everybody else came to the first hill that they couldn't get up. Even the most famous of runners had a day when they got to somewhere and they just stopped and put their hands on their knees and then just took huge gulps of fresh air and thought, this is just rubbish. And then they either got back up, stood up, even, what's his name, I'm trying to think of the guy's name, is it it begins with F, and then he just walked on for a couple of 100 yards and then jogged, and he just thought, because he pushed himself and he just ran out of puff, but he didn't. He still did the day. He still got up and did that bit, even if he stops for that while and takes the break. It's not the end of the world. And if you look at the Tour de France, you'll see the guys there doing their mountains and all this sort of thing, where they're all big macho men pushing up the mountains. Every single one of them went through a period at the start where they got about halfway or a third of the way up the mountain and just got off and thought, ah, the hell with this, and then just walked the rest of the mountain pushing the bike. I can assure you they did. All of them did. Later on, when it becomes part of their lives, they're less likely to do it, but they will still occasionally do it. Yeah, they still do it. So today I'm doing this. Day 6. It's day 6. I'm going to do today and tomorrow because I said to myself that I would. Yeah. The thing is, need to lose weight, ideally quickly, but you know, that's the same as anybody else. We want to earn money quickly. We want to be able to do a marathon career. We have lots of wants. But as long as you're going in the right direction, and I am going in the right direction, keeping the circulation in my legs going, I am getting up, I am doing the walks, I'm not a bubble of joy, but I am going in the right direction. And you got all the cliches in the world, but that's it. My aim is the end of the walk tomorrow. I'll have done 7 days where I've walked every single day 5.02 miles or whatever it is this gadget tells me I've done. And I'll get into the shower and I'll wash myself down, and I'll file, and I'll feel pleased with myself for the achievement, and then I look in the mirror and say, right, that's week 1. Now let's make sure that you haven't wasted that effort that you've put in there. Let's make sure that we haven't let that go now. What you achieve there that week, you're not going back to day 1. And then we'll start thinking about the next 10 days. Because the next 10 days I'm going to start doing basic training. I'm going to use the green stick routine to get the movement for the weights bar. I'm not going to be using weights. I'm going to try and get some press-ups done. Yeah. We'll go through standing press-ups if necessary. Standing press-ups is where you find something that just basically puts you at an angle. We'll do some of those, maybe go down onto the ground and try and do 1 or 2, it doesn't matter. If you can do 1 press-up, you can do 100. Yeah? You can do one set, you can do a say, you can say to yourself, I've done 1 press-up. You can do 1 press-up, you can do 100. The thing is, it will take you 100 days to do them. But you can do you know, I can do this. All I have to do is do it. I will get better every time that I do this. I will improve every time I'll do this. Naturally, your body will do it for you. So we'll do try and get some press-ups done, and the start of sit-ups. One of the things with carrying so much weight is starting doing sit-ups is a little bit more, takes a little bit more of a technique, because basically you're carrying all that weight. You've got a big belly. Yeah, you can be the female gold medal Olympian, but if you're pregnant, you're not going to be able to touch your toes. Or at least that's what I believe. So it's the same. But you start, and we're going to start that over the next 10 days and make it happen to see how much progress can be made. I think probably a fair amount of progress. I'm going to still have to walk every day. Still going to have to walk every day. That's the back end of that village there. And that's it for now. So today and tomorrow, and then the next 10 days after that, which will take me up to mid-March time. See how that goes. Right, that's me now. The rest of the walk for now, the rest of the walk is up here along this driveway to the main road and into the town. Pretty much the same, well, it's the same as every other day. I've done my little walkie-talkie bit, so I'm just going to put the camera away and basically just do the walking, because that's what I'm here for. Anyway, day 6, 16 odd out. Well, I'm a good bit of the way back down the back road. That's the town. That's the town back there. The edge of the town. Nice walk again, very lucky. No rain. Almost no wind. Which means not having a microphone on here, apart from the other day when it was a bit problematic. It hasn't been too much of a problem. I can't find my earphones that have the mic on it for this. This thing doesn't really take a mic anyway. I can't fit it in where the gimbal is. But that's it. Legs are aching a little bit. The one that was badly crushed, in particular the ankle and the foot. But that's a weight thing. I'm carrying far too much weight. But all in all, I did a good pace to get to the town. Kept up a good pace. And now strolling back down, I had a lukewarm brown water drink from the machine and the co-op. Yeah, I wouldn't go so far as to call it coffee. I wouldn't go so far as to call it coffee, but it was lukewarm and it did what I wanted it to do. It kept me going for a bit. There's quite a few people out and about, horse riding, walking or cycling still. Yeah, a lot of people out horse riding, cycling, just generally walking. Whew. So there we go. There's a few people down here, so that's me for now. Out. Well, just approaching the village now. I'm walking along here, and like I said earlier, my little my ankle on my badly damaged, the one that was crushed badly, ankle is aching, and it is down to the weight, carrying too much weight. So I'm going to have to consider in a few days whether getting a push bike, getting a bicycle of some kind, and doing some cycling is not the answer to this. I think it might be. You want one with a nice firm saddle, none of the ones that they got, the razor sharp ones, shall we say, no more than that. A nice comfortable saddle, and possibly, I suggest, the kind that they have in Holland. And that basically means, if you're outside of Holland, a woman's bike, a good sturdy woman's bike. Because when you get to a certain age, especially if you're carrying some weight, and you are going to struggle cocking your leg over the bike if you're a man. Not a problem for women, but if you're a man, you can throw your leg over the bike. If you have a problem, well, you know, you got the bar in the way. But if you have the lady's bike, a woman's bike, or those Dutch bikes, you can stop easily. You stand down, you just lift your leg, put it across. If you've got it set up properly, you can stand with your legs astride the bike and just have a rest. It's easy to get onto, easy to get off, and then you just cycle along when you want to. And that's the main thing, is to cycle when you can, on the flat or whenever. And the thing about the cycling is, you're doing the exercise. You are exercising your body. The actual, people forget that actually balancing yourself means that you have other muscles within your lower back and everything that are in play when you're balancing the bike. But the thing is, you are not carrying the weight. So if you are 16, 17, 18 or 20 stone, you're doing the exercise. The legs are doing you're doing the miles, obviously, but you're not putting massive weight on the lower back, on the knee joints, on the ankle joints. But you can cycle, and you can get the heart rate going a little bit. And the thing is, you can go places. Like this trip into the town and back out again would take, what, maybe less than half an hour on a bike if you get used to it. So you can then do it twice a day. Cycle in one way, cycle in, have a coffee, cycle back, and then later on in the day do the opposite. You can do that because you're not carrying the weight when you're doing the actual cycling, and that might be the way forward. So especially if you're having knee joints and leg problems, plus the fact the circular motions will improve the circulation in your legs, and that will help build up stamina. There is a thing, by the way, called cycle legs, and what that means is, well, anybody who's been swimming after a long period of time and they go to a swimming pool will know that there is a thing called swimming fitness, because of the way you use all your house there, called the laundry. Remember, this is on an estate. Anyway, it's called swimming fitness. Ooh. Swimming fitness, when you go swimming after you've been off it for a long time, you find that because you use all the muscles when you're swimming, even though you may consider yourself fit, you'll think, oh, that's a bit harder than I remember it. That's because you haven't got that fitness that the swimming requires. And that's the problem. I'm just going to turn off for a second while these people pass. Yeah, swimming fitness. Because you're using every muscle in your body to balance and to keep yourself going. Even though you may consider yourself quite fit, you might see people who are incredibly fit in the gym. They go into the pool when they've had an injury or something, and you'll find them struggling. It's because they haven't got that kind of fitness. They haven't got the all-over body fitness that's required for swimming. And it's the same with the cycling. You get on there, and apart from the fact, which I won't labour it too much, but we'll call it the bum problem. The fact that you're not used to sitting on sitting on the saddle sort of obviously will make your bum a bit sore. But also the leg movement. If you haven't been cycling for a while and you try to do fairly long distances, you'll find your legs get very tired. And that's because you haven't got what they call cycle legs. It's just the movement and the motion. Your legs just need to get back to their cycling form. So when you initially get a bike, if you get a push bike, or you can borrow a push bike or whatever, the idea that it's got to be easier than walking, yes, it will be. But the first day, if you haven't been cycling since you were a teenager, don't go out and try and go on hills. Go out somewhere flat, get on it, cycle around a car park, do this or do that, to get yourself used to getting on it, stopping, getting your foot down, make sure you're comfortable getting on it, cycling it, stopping it, getting off, putting your foot down, holding the thing. Don't get on it at the top of a hill and then wonder why you're left in intensive care half an hour later. And remember, I find cycling tiring. You don't find cycling tiring. Find cycling tiring. It's that you haven't got your cycle legs on. You just haven't been cycling for a long time. And you will. They will improve like anything else, like the running, like the walking. It'll take you a little bit of time just to get your cycle legs back. But when you do, you can exercise without carrying all that extra weight. And that alleviates the joints. Well, it won't get rid of it completely, but now you're able to get yourself your breath, get your heart rate up, get the breathing up, but you don't have to carry all your body weight while you're doing it. And that's a great advantage if you're particularly heavy. That's a particular good that you get from having a push bike. And the thing is, once you've got on it and you've got your confidence, and then I know in some of the places the traffic is horrible. The French are very good with cycling, the Dutch are very good with cycling, but in other parts of the world not so much. The cars and lorries are not very forgiving. But once you've got your confidence, you can then start training using the bike, and you can do further distances. So if you have a friend who lives in the other village across the town, you can, as part of your training, say, don't do it every day of the week because they'll get sick to death of you. But you can, like on a Wednesday, cycle over, have a cup of coffee, have a chat, get back on the bike and cycle back home. Yeah, cycling. It might be what I need. It might be what I need. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm going to stick with this for tomorrow. I'll have done what I told myself I was going to do. I then need to decide what the form is going to be for the next 10 days. What exercises I'm going to do. And what my targets and my goals are going to be. And then I need to go and do them. I'll talk to my brother about a push bike of some kind. There's a guy walking along here in shorts. Right, that's that for now. Getting to the edge of the town, out. So here we are back at the hotel. Somebody's left the gate open. Bit of horse poo there. I don't know if there's anything likely to come in and come out, but you close the gates in the country usually, although there are times and years when closing the gates will just simply drive the farmer up the wall because he's driving in and out every 5 minutes. There's the pond down there, or the lake, whatever you want to call it. Oh, so day 6, 60 not out. Good. Like I said earlier on, didn't want to do it this morning. I don't need to do this. I've already done 5 days. I can have a day's rest day. Blah blah blah. You can have a rest day. No, you said you were doing it. Do it. You are what you do every day. And at the moment, what I'm doing is I'm walking because I need the circulation in my legs. Because otherwise, they swell up. Because I've put on too much weight. And I'm probably, although nobody's told me it, probably pre-diabetic. And because of my illness, I actually, being ill and not feeling very well, I've been laid up for weeks, 6 days straight. I was laid up in bed, then got up and found difficulty in walking. This is the start of January time. There's the house on the other side of the lake. And it's taken me till the start of March. A couple of failed attempts to get going. One time I did a walk and then it took me 2 days to recover from it. 2-3 days. On the third day I was up and was able to walk around, but basically just hobble from A to B. Go and get some food and then sit down again. So I've had that, and then I've got to the 1st of March and I've said, right, I have to do this. I haven't got an option. Well, I have got options, but I need to do this, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Oops, that's a bit quick of a shift there. I need to do this. So that's it. 6. Day 6. There's the lake. It says people everywhere now. Yeah. So today I nearly gave in. Nearly convinced myself not to do it. But here I am. No harm done. Yes, I've got the aches and pains. But when I finish tomorrow, I'll have achieved my first goal of walking every day for the week, for 7 days. Yeah, a lot of people about walking their dogs. Ducks and swans and stuff. Ugh. So the next 10 days, what am I going to do? What is the goal going to be for the next 10 days? Well, as a baseline, keep walking. Do I need to do the same walk every day? We'll see. But 5 miles a day seems reasonable. Start with other exercises, or start on other exercises. Doing press-ups. I hope to be able to go start off and do, well, we'll say, we'll aim for 6. And that might be a bit too much. We'll say 3 sets of 3. How about that? That might be a target. I'm not making it definitive yet, but 3 sets of 3 on the floor, in good form, with good form, maybe. Maybe that would be one goal. The green stick routine. To do that 2 or 3 times a day, 2 times at least. Because it's basically it's a movement exercise. It's not a strength, it's not a heavy lift exercise. It's basically a movement exercise to get used to the movements again. Like I say, get used to the movements. Yeah, to get used to the movements, the actual physical movement of doing the weights, doing some weights, that should help. So some sort of press up if we're lucky. The green stick, definitely, the green stick routine, or the stick routine, call it whatever you want. And then, what else was I going to say? Sit-ups. Yeah, they're going to be, all right. Sit-ups. Guy taking his daughter down to feed the ducks. You beat me all the way round. Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, the sit-ups, I haven't really decided what's going to happen there. Because when you've got a lot of weight, like I say, it's like asking a pregnant woman to do sit-ups. It's not as easy. But we'll start with leg raises and things like that. Sitting or putting, finding somewhere to put your feet under, to hold your feet steady while you try and do sit-ups might help. But I mean, where are we going to find that? Might be okay in a gym or something, but not necessarily as easy as finding somewhere to lean on to do some press-ups. So, but the basic exercises are the legs, which if you're carrying a lot of weight around, you are exercising your legs. You know, if you go into a gym and you're wearing 20 stone overweight and the guy says, do you know what you need to do? You need to do some squats. And I know, mate. Even if it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, he says you need to do some squats and some leg press and some leg cut. You know, you just look at him and go, look at me, mate. I am doing that every time I take a step. I don't need to do any leg training. I need to train the rest of me. So walking around all day is your weight, is the exercises for your legs. You don't need to put any more strain on your ankles, any more strain on your knees, any more strain on your lower back by doing leg exercises. Well, if you walk up and down steps, I'm doing that all the time. I'm carrying 20 stone around with me all the time, mate. If I put this on your back, Mr. Schwarzenegger, and I make you carry it around all day, the equivalent of the extra weight I'm carrying, you will be extremely unhappy man. Yeah? Ooh. You will be an extremely unhappy man. I'm doing it all the time. At the moment, we're not going to concentrate on doing legs unless it's walking or cycling or jogging. The main thing is to get the legs. The main thing is to get into the habit of training, get into the habit of exercising. And start to get fit again. I'm afraid this gimbal is failing on me. There we go. Yeah, it's the starting to put in other exercises and starting to do other bits and pieces, because we can now walk, and that's that box ticked. So we're not going to just walk up and down these steps. No. Yeah, no, I want to lose the weight. I will either walk, I will walk until I can jog, and I will jog until I can run. But I am not doing silly leg exercises when I'm carrying this weight around on my legs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's not happening. So don't worry about that. Don't get on this treadmill of that. Don't allow anybody to say to you, you need to do this, you need to do that. You don't. You need to do what's right for you. Yeah, I'm having problems with this gimbal for some reason, and the phone. Right, so there we are. So I have to set myself some goals for next 10 days. Green stick routine, or the stick routine. Some kind of way of working up to being able to do some press-ups would be nice. Not essential, but nice. And a way of doing starting to do some sort of press-ups, trunk curls or half sits, whatever we can do with all this weight on it. Best probably start off with leg raises and things like that. Scissor legs of leg raises to get the lower abdomen toned up. But no big major leg exercises, because the simple act of living and carrying this weight around is all the exercise your legs need at the moment. And then 10 days and try and tick that box. We'll see. That'll take us up to the middle of March. And yeah, I won't have lost a lot of weight, but at least I know now I can walk. I know now I can walk. And that's... I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to be in the state I was a couple of weeks ago, where I could just barely... I struggled to get out of bed, literally. Struggled really, really. At one point I was going to ring somebody up to get me, to help me get out of bed. So there we go, 16 not out, day 6. Yeah, there's something wrong with this, the tracking on this phone, this gimbal. The gimbal's working, the phone's not working properly. which is a bit of a shame. It should track me and it should keep me in focus and it should do all that, all singing, all dancing, and it's not doing it for some reason. Anyway, that's it, day 6. I've been waffling a little bit there. Out.